Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome inside the softball field here at Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Milford TV Executive Director Tim Coet coming to you live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth, and excited to bring you our first edition of Scarlet Hawks varsity softball of the season. And we're not wasting any time. We get our first pitch of the game, and it is a called strike to open things up here tonight. This afternoon, I should say, getting this game started right at 4 p.m. And it is Brooke Stokes in the circle for the Scarlet Hawks. A lot of youth on the roster for Milford this year, including Brooke Stokes, a freshman. We saw Brooke with the girls volleyball team this past fall, and now factoring into head coach Steve DeVito's starting rotation for the softball team this season, ready with an 0-2 pitch, and it is sent off the end of the bat, foul and out of play. We'll hang with you in between innings to get you everything you need to know on the full starting lineups for these two teams. We can tell you the top three hitters in the Stoughton order. It is Reagan Costello, the left fielder, at the plate right now. Caitlin Driscoll, the center fielder, is on deck, and she'll be followed by Kayla Monahan as that pitch is in for strike three, and a nice start to the game for Stokes. Costello goes down by way of the K, and that will bring up Driscoll to the plate. Milford comes into the contest today at 1-2 overall on the season, currently in 5th place in the Kelly Rex Division standings. As Stokes dots the outside corner for a first pitch strike against the Stoughton center fielder Caitlin Driscoll. The Knights come in with a very hot start to the season. They have been a perfect 4-0 to open up the year. Took something off that pitch and gets it past Driscoll's bat for strike two. So Stoughton 4-0. They currently reside in first place in the Davenport Division standings. Bases are empty with one down, just underway in the top of the first. As the 0-2 pitch, that misses. Milford was in action yesterday. If you're following along with our social media, we had a bit of an eventful flurry of social media posts as we adapted to an unexpected change in the softball schedule yesterday. As this 1-2 pitch is sent on the ground to second base, backhanded there by Amelia Maloney. She gets it to first base for out number 2. On the original schedule for this season, yesterday's game was supposed to be a home game for Milford against Attleboro, but ended up getting switched to a road game. And so we sort of adapted our coverage on the fly as the day went on yesterday, and took the opportunity with another home game on the schedule for today to get back out to have a chance to see this softball team in action. We'll share some more of our schedule details with you as this broadcast goes along. In the meantime, it is a one ball no strike count on Kayla Monahan. Base is empty.
Super good speed. You just gotta scooch up a little bit.
And now a ground ball hit to first base. They'll get the sure out there as Shirey is able to safely get down to second base. So Monahan out, 3 unassisted on the grounder. For those of you checking out our live coverage this afternoon, we do apologize for some connectivity issues we're having down here at the softball field. Trying to get those worked out. It is a tied game, 1-1. Milford getting their first run on a wild pitch after getting a couple of runners aboard in the bottom of the first, and Stoughton tying up the game here with back-to-back hits to open up the top of the second. A triple for Kelsey Whitman and an RBI single for Lily Shirey. Right now, Shirey stands at third base. high drive hit out to left field. This is going to be over the reach of Bonina and up against the fence. Shirey will jog in to score and count it as an RBI double for Emerson Grover. And Stoughton able to take the lead now. It is 2-1. And so for Stoughton, in the early part of this season, they have had a lot of success on offense. They've been red hot with the bats through their 4 games this season. They have scored 7 or more runs in each of those 4 games, including a big 24-2 romp over North Attleboro in their 2nd game of the season. They scored 17 runs in their season debut in a win against the Sharon Eagles, and they scored 18 runs in a Mercy Rule victory against Southeastern back last week. So this has been an offense that has come out of the gates roaring, and after allowing a run to Milford in the bottom of the 1st inning, they have quickly seized control to take a 2-1 lead and looking for more here with a runner in scoring position and 1 down. Ball hit foul off the backstop as the catcher Addison Greenlaw at the for Stoughton. And a strikeout here. Stokes needed it. Her 2nd K of the game. That keeps Grover at 2nd base now with 2 outs in the inning. And Coach DeVito out for a chat with his starting pitcher. Coach DeVito now in what I believe is his 11th season at the helm of this softball program. Longtime head coach, has had a lot of success with this program over the years. The head coach for the Stoughton Black Knights is Laura Whitaker, assisted by Aaron Costello. Conversation breaks up now as the Milford head coach returns to the dugout, and now Megan McGowan, the designated player, will stand in on the right side. Runner at 2nd, 2 outs. And this pitch buzzes the inside corner for strike 1. Nice pitch from Stokes. And now a wave and a miss. Stokes 1 out away from getting out of the inning. Back on the pitching rubber. The 0-2 pitch. It's low. Gets through the wickets of Lacerbo, and Grover will move on to 3rd base. Put that in the scorebook as a pass ball. As always, we check in on the official scoring after the fact with the team. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count now on McGowan. And now a sharply hit ball foul over the 1st base dugout, and takes a hop off of an unexpected vehicle driving past in the parking lot. And no matter how many years go by, we say it every time, you've always got to watch where you park and keep your head on a swivel when you're driving through the athletic parking lot when a softball game's going on. 1-2 pitch is in there for a called strike 3, freezing McGowan. So Stokes able to limit the damage in the inning, but the triple by Kelsey Whitman begins a 2-run 2nd inning for the Stoughton Black Knights, and it is now Stoughton on top of Milford 2-1. Quick pause on the broadcast as we bring it to you live here from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV is presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Foul ball off the bat of Avery Mackey as we begin the home half of inning number 2. Now a 2-1 lead for the Stoughton Black Knights. Thank you so much for joining us on this coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV. Again, if you have been with us on our live coverage, we appreciate your patience as we worked through some connectivity issues. Always an adventure when we can't hardline in for an internet connection, which is the case here at the softball field and over at Fino as well. So relying on Wi-Fi to get our signal out to YouTube and back to our channels. We're also happy to have our connection back up and running back to our studio. So we're also live this afternoon on our educational channel and our high definition channel as well. It is a heavy cloud cover overhead here at the softball field, but a dry day. Temperature was around 50 degrees when we started setting up. There is a breeze making it feel a bit cooler. 2-2 pitch now from Julia Monahan is sent foul and out of play, and a pesky at bat being put on here by the number 6 hitter in the Milford lineup, Avery Mackey, another one of the impact freshmen to join this varsity roster this season. 3 freshmen making the varsity lineup this year for the Scarlet Hawks. Full count now on Mackey. So it is Avery Mackey, Brooke Stokes, and Lauren Williams all making it onto the varsity roster their freshman season. Full count, and ahead with the swing was Mackey. She goes down on strikes. That's the first K in the game for Julia Monahan. She retires the first batter here in the second. And that brings up Angelina Bonina. Bonina now a junior, returning player on this varsity squad. Slap hitter sends that one foul down the first base side. We've had so many Boninas on this varsity softball roster over the years. Camille Bonina graduating after last season. And so right now, Angelina, the only Bonina on the roster at the current moment. Timing off on that swing from Angelina. Falls behind in the count now. 1-2. Bases empty with 1 down in the home half of the second. Able to make contact there, sends that one foul down the third base line right towards Coach DeVito. Bonina, Maloney, and Kernan, the bottom third of the Milford order expected in this inning. 1-2 pitch, and that is swung on and missed. It pops out of the mitt of the catcher, but they will finish the out as Greenlaw gets the throw down to first base in time.
Take the orange bag. Give her a nice big target.
I beg your pardon. It was Mackey leading off the inning with a strikeout, so it is Mackey, Bonina, and Maloney, the 3 batters due up in this inning. 2 of them have been retired, both of them on strikeouts. And Maloney fouling that pitch off at the plate for strike 1. We'll dig into some stats on the team through their first 3 games of the year as we continue on in this broadcast. Maloney showing bunt, drops a good one, forces the third baseman to make the play. No chance to get an out at first. Outstanding bunt, just deadened it right in front of the plate. The third baseman had to come charging in, but Maloney, too much speed, beats it out with ease for a bunt single. And so it puts a 2-out base runner on ahead of Caitlin Kernan. Kernan swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul down the third base line. Caitlin Kernan, an Iron Hawk once again. Soccer player in the fall, basketball player in the winter, and now Another season of varsity softball here in the spring. Pitch is waved at and missed. Maloney taking off for second base and gets in with a feet first slide. The throw was elevated from the catcher. So Milford gets their second stolen base in the game. They put the tying run in scoring position, but an 0-2 count on Kernan at the dish. And swings and misses. They'll apply the tag for strike three, and that will end the inning. So a much better frame for Julia Monahan as she strikes out the side in the second inning. Milford leaves a runner. And so we've played two full now from the Milford softball field, where it is Stoughton 2 and Milford 1. As we bring you the coverage live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth, and our presenting sponsor of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV is the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
Yeah. Thanks for going with that. I know you would. Oh yeah, I know. I know.
That's a game ball, right? We're right down to two, so thank you so much. Yep.
Yeah, you got that. Keep that.
Brooke Stokes with her first pitch in the top of the third. It misses for ball one as we now go second time through the Stoughton lineup. Reagan Costello, Caitlin Driscoll, and Kayla Monahan due up in the top half of the third. Costello with a swing and a miss. She struck out swinging against Brooke Stokes in the first inning. Two balls and one strike now. And now a chopper hit in front of the plate. Foul ball, says the home plate umpire. The defensive alignment for the Scarlet Hawks, it is Isabella Lacerbo behind the plate, Kay Pellegrini at third, Olivia Baglione at short, Amelia Maloney at second, and Avery Mackey at first. Left to right in the outfield, Angelina Bonina, Ava Baglione, and Caitlin Kernan. The ball slapped foul over towards the Stoughton on-deck hitter, and it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Grounder hit over to shortstop, scooped up there by Olivia. Fires it over to first to get the out. Leadoff batter retired. And we acknowledge our broadcast booth sponsor for our Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV. That is Rentschler Biopharma. With a state-of-the-art facility and a commitment to excellence, Rentschler Biopharma is poised to tackle the most complex challenges in biopharmaceutical development and manufacturing. Thank Rentschler Biopharma for their generous partnership. As this ball is laced down the left field line, it's a foul ball. Caitlin Driscoll, the center fielder at the plate, quickly down in the count, 0-2. Bases are empty, one out in the top of the third. That wind now continues to push across the playing surface here, making things a little chillier as we get deeper into the afternoon. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Held on to by Lacerbo, not quite sure where that one missed. Maybe a touch high. Coach DeVito not pleased as he crouches outside the third base dugout. So it's now a 1-2 count. The next one is hit on the ground back to the pitcher circle. Nice job smothering that one by Stokes, but the throw to first base is not squeezed by Mackey, and so the runner will reach. And so Coach DeVito out to argue there's going to be a conversation here. Can't quite pick up on what exactly the argument that Coach DeVito is making. The throw looks like it might have gone into the midsection of Avery Mackey. Tried to hang on to it, ended up stretched out on the dirt. The ball ended up popping loose. So the argument goes nowhere, and assuming that will go in the books as an E3. The runner immediately takes off for second base and will get in well ahead of the throw. So Driscoll wastes no time. She collects a stolen base and puts herself in scoring position here with one down in the top of the third. And so some real frustration there for Milford. We'll see if they can settle back in. Looked like Stokes had Driscoll struck out on the previous pitch. Then the ground ball back up the middle looked to be a sure out, but Milford couldn't squeeze it on the back end, and now potential trouble brewing with a runner in scoring position. Now this pitch misses outside and low. Nice backhanded play by Lacerbo. 2 balls and 1 strike on the right-handed hitting Kayla Monahan. Takes that pitch high. Third base dugout full of energy now as Stoughton looks to tack on to their lead in this top half of the third. Stokes now ready with a 3-1 pitch. It's hit hard, and that is through the left side of the infield. This will bring the run around as Driscoll will score from second base. An RBI single for Monahan. So a 3-1 lead now for Stoughton. What looked like it was going to be a potentially quiet inning for Milford in the field. Instead, the Knights tack on an additional run. Now this pitch misses outside to start off the at-bat for Kelsey Whitman. She opened up last inning with a ringing triple. And now hits a ground ball foul that just misses the entrance to the third base dugout. Milford's win on the season came back on April 2nd. A good time for the Scarlet Hawks offense, a 24-0 romp over the Sharon Eagles, a 5-inning Mercy Rule win. So it's been a bit of an inconsistent season through 3 games for Milford. They had some defensive issues and some bad luck in their season opening game. More on that in a moment, as this ball will also make its way through on the left side for a hit. And meanwhile, Milford falls asleep with the ball at the edge of the infield dirt at shortstop. So Stoughton's going to end up with 2 runners in scoring position. Bonina got the throw back in from left field quickly, but Olivia Baglione focused in on that runner at third, and Whitman took the opportunity to make her way down to second base, got there without issue, as this ball is now hit on the ground to first base. Milford will get the sure out at first. Another run will come home. So that ended up being a single for Whitman. Took second base on the lapse in defense for the Hawks. And in the meantime, Monahan scores on an RBI ground out. And so it is now 4-1 Stoughton. Coach DeVito pops out of the dugout to have a quick chat with Stokes. So the error really opening the door for more success here at the plate for Stoughton as this ball is sent in the air out to center field off the bat of Julia Monahan. And Ava is able to make the catch for the out that ends the inning. But again, the error got it started, and 2 more runs cross the plate in the process for the Stoughton Black Knights. They now take a 4-1 lead on Milford. We'll move on to the home half of the third inning.
Hey, left side. Hey, we got 2.
2 outs here in the inning now. And this ball cued off the end of the bat foul down the third base line for Brooke Stokes.
Anything from you is like off the end of her bat, so you gotta attack it.
Again, we thank you for sticking with us on the live coverage. Having a tough connectivity day here. We'll look to work out those bugs as the season goes on, as Stokes is out on the ground ball to the right side. So that will wrap things up for the bottom of the third inning. Milford settles for 1 run on an RBI single for Kay Pellegrini. And so, again, Milford able to send 5 batters to the plate in that bottom half of the third. Olivia Baglione getting it started with a walk. Raced on a fielder's choice by Ava, who advanced to second base on a wild pitch and eventually came around to score on that RBI single for Kay Pellegrini. And so now a 2-run deficit for the Scarlet Hawks. Very interesting to see the roster composition for this team this season as we think about how the history of Milford softball has gone. There have been eras of Milford softball in the past where they've had a talented crop of players all come up at the same time, make an immediate impact as freshmen, and eventually lead this program to do very good things. We saw it back in 2012 and 2013. We saw it again in 2017. And so we'll see how things continue to go here as we see another trio of freshmen all making an impact here right away. Certainly makes Milford softball fans very hopeful for the present as well as the future of this program. One of those freshmen, Brooke Stokes, continues on into her 4th inning of work in the circle. She will face the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the Stoughton lineup. Emerson Grover, the first to the plate for Stoughton. She drove in a run with a double her first time up. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. As this ball is hit hard back up the middle, that's going to sneak through for a base hit. And so Grover now is 2 for 2. So now the number 8 hitter, Madison Greenlaw, will step to the plate. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball. Addison struck out swinging her first time up. Now 2-0 as Stokes trying to get Greenlaw to chase off the outside part of the plate. Now this ball sent out towards the left center field gap. It's down for a hit and bobbled around a bit by Kernan. Grover will go first to third. She will hold there on a double for the catcher, Addison Greenlaw. The Stoughton bench energized again as Stokes is in a jam, 2 in scoring position with no outs in the inning, and we'll see a pitching change here. And so it looks like we will see another one of those freshmen as Lauren Williams will start to loosen. And it looks like we may have a corresponding defensive change as well, as we did spot Avery Mackey head into the dugout. So it looks like a couple of changes here. So it appears like Brooke Stokes will head out into left field. And Angelina Bonina, it looks like, will take over at first base. So Bonina moves from left to first. Stokes takes over out in left. And so Mackey comes out of the game. As we take a quick look at the pitching stats so far this season. So this will be the first appearance of the season for Lauren Williams. Not an easy spot to inherit here as she takes over with nobody out in the top half of the fourth and 2 runners in scoring position. Stokes unable to retire a batter here in the fourth, and so now an opportunity for the number 9 hitter, Megan McGowan. As she takes the first pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. She struck out in her first at bat against the starting pitcher, Brooke Stokes. And now a swing and a miss, and McGowan is down in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Milford playing the second day of back-to-back games as this pitch is on the outside corner for strike 3. So good start to this relief appearance for Williams as she gets the first batter on strikes, and now we'll deal with the leadoff hitter, Reagan Costello, who is 0 for 2 so far today. In yesterday's game, Avery Mackey got the start. She lasted just an inning and 2/3, allowing 3 earned runs on 7 hits. Brooke Stokes ended up pitching 3 1/3 innings of relief, allowing 4 earned runs on 7 hits. So Stokes with a heavy workload the last couple of days, and Williams now the fresh arm in relief. Floats that pitch in for a strike, and it's now a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Costello. Runners at second and third. 1-2 pitch is Tapper back to the circle. The runner has to hold up at third as Williams is able to get the quick out at first base. And so good work out of the bullpen so far. A strikeout and now a ground ball induced back to the circle. And so Williams now is 1 out away from wriggling out of this jam. And I beg your pardon, I looked down at my scorecards too soon. They say that so there appears to be some confusion. I had quickly put the out down in my scorecard as it did seem like they were able to get the out at first. It looks like initially they ruled that Costello was safe. And now it appears after Coach DeVito came out to argue the case, they may have changed the call. Right now, Costello remains at first base as now Coach Whitaker on the Stoughton side arguing. And so now Costello will head to the dugout. So in the end, we scored it correctly. A little bit of confusion out on the field, but everything cleared up now. So it is indeed a 1-3 ground out to first base. 2 outs in the inning, runners at second and third. And Caitlin Driscoll at the plate. Reached on an error, stole a base and scored her last time up. Now takes a called strike, and Williams 1 strike away from shutting down this top of the 4th inning. It would be a big boost of momentum to the Scarlet Hawks team. Here is the 0-2 pitch, and it's spoiled foul. Drifting off towards the street. And Driscoll will hang in for another pitch. The Stoughton dugout getting loud. 0-2 pitch, that's on the inside corner for strike 3. So Lauren Williams inherits runners at second and third with nobody out, and she gets out of the inning with no damage done. Outstanding work in relief for the freshman Lauren Williams. We'll see if Milford can use it to build some momentum as they come to the plate in the bottom half of this 4th inning. That is next as we bring you the coverage live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics on Milford TV is proudly presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
I'm not sure if you know that about me.
Huh?
I thought for sure she was off the bat, I guess. I thought so too. He said that he had already shut it on. So that's exactly what happened.
Right.
And I was confused because he told us that they were screaming over this guy. So I was like, wait, is he talking about something else?
I know. Here we go, 10.
Well, Lauren Williams, fresh off of a tremendous sequence in the top half of this inning, escaping with those 2 runners in scoring position. She'll now take her first at bat of the game, and she sends a hard line drive out into the gap in left center field. It's cut off shy of the fence. Lauren Williams digging for second base, and she will get there safely. Got that right foot into the bag just ahead of the throw. And so have a day, Lauren Williams takes her first at bat of the game and leads off this bottom of the 4th inning with a double. That will allow Milford to bring the tying run to the plate. And meanwhile, we'll see a quick pitching change here on the Stoughton side as well. So we talked about Lily Shirey being an impact in the circle. We will now see the freshman as she will take over here for Julia Monahan, who leaves after allowing that leadoff double. So it'll just be a straight swap of positions as Monahan will take over now at first base. Angelina Bonina at the plate. Shows bunt, pops it up, foul, and it'll drop down behind the plate for strike one.
Right there.
So both starting pitchers
She goes, you take the throw.
unable to collect an out in this fourth inning. Shirey, a hard-throwing lefty. That pitch in the dirt and heads up base running. As the runner gets to third, Milford with a courtesy runner on. It's Kyla Nashawati who is running
Nice and loud to her,
for Williams.
Okay? Bunt goes down. You tell her tag, 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 or one. Yeah, you're listening to Addie.
Gets to third base. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Bonina. Runs up to that one, takes a strike. And the catcher will look Nashawati back to the bag at third. No one covering that bag, as right now Stoughton has their third baseman in tight with the slap hitter at the plate. And so, more conversation now amongst the coaches. Coach DeVito, who now looks like he received a warning from the home plate umpire as he argues his case. So I'm not sure if they're saying that they're going to call a strike on Bonina for stepping out of the box on that slash attempt. And right now, Coach DeVito trying to de-escalate as his conversation continues with the home plate umpire. So a little pause in the action here. Right now the scoreboard reads 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bonina.
You field it. You field it and check her and don't have a play here.
So a 1 ball, 2 strike count. That is where it stands with the at-bat for Bonina. And Shirey with another pitch. This is floated foul. A tumbling attempt for Grover into foul territory. Could not make the catch. Nice bid for the third baseman.
Hey, one more, Lily. Here we go, 2-6. Hey, that's a great bid. Nice try, Em.
Perhaps would have been a more catchable ball had she been back at standard depth at third, but in tight, expecting that slash. Could not make the catch. Next pitch missed for a ball, and Bonina was just able to hold up on the swing. The catcher really preoccupied with Nashawati at third base. Here's a 2-2 pitch, and this one is sent down the left field line. It stays fair, drops down for a hit. Nashawati will score, and it's an RBI single for Angelina Bonina. And Milford back to within a run. It's now 4-3. So some
Come in.
excitement during that at bat.
Nothing.
Result, the RBI for Bonina. Right now the third baseman in even tighter, expecting the bunt from Amelia Maloney. But so far Shirey has not been able to get one over the plate. The count goes to 2-0. Stoughton in tight at both corners. As this pitch is in the dirt, kicks off the shoulder of the catcher, and Bonina will trot down to second base.
Talk to each other.
Another wild pitch.
Talk to Reagan. One of you guys gotta get
So Shirey trying to get loose. Turned into a very chilly afternoon here in Milford without the sun. So not easy for any of these pitchers. As the 3-0 pitch was close, but ruled a ball that will result in a walk for Maloney. First walk for either pitcher in this game, for any of the pitchers in this game, I should say.
Nice job. Emerson,
Get down.
stop.
And Kernan a little antsy.
You gotta duck down.
Yeah.
Starts off down in the count. 0-1. Shows bunt here, pulls the bat back, but will take a strike as the runners stay put at first and second base. Kernan down in an 0-2 hole. She struck out in her first at bat against Julia Monahan. 0-2 pitch and late on the cut. Kernan will go down on 3 pitches.
All right, hey, we got one.
First out in this bottom of the 4th. And so now back up to the top of the order for Olivia Baglione. She looks at a first pitch strike. Olivia's been on base twice today, a hit and a walk. Takes a hack at this one, pops it up, foul ground down the first base line, and that is going to drop. It was Julia Monahan who had the best bid
Hey, you
to
three.
make a catch on that ball.
Julia and LP, be aware, even if you catch it over there,
Wind
she can tag up.
Twisting that one around, it drops harmlessly foul. Just a few paces in front of Patrick Garapi, manning our action camera down the first base line as this 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed. No throw needed down to first base as it was occupied. The runners do advance, however, as Bonina will take third.
Hey, we got two. Going right to one.
Maloney down to second base. And so 2 in scoring position. The tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second. This ball gets away, and Milford unwilling to risk making the final out of the inning at home plate. They stay put on the bases. So Stoughton catches a break there. It's a 1-ball, no-strike count on Ava Baglione. Looking for her first hit this afternoon.
Nice pitch.
Takes one just off the outside part of the plate. Ava ahead in the count, 2-0. Next one from Shirey is high and pulled down. Nice play behind the plate by Addison Greenlaw. And so a 3-ball, no-strike count with Kay Pellegrini lurking on deck. Really want to be selective here if you're Ava. And this pitch bounces in the dirt. A 4-pitch walk. And a big spot in this game here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. Milford has the bases loaded. And they have their best hitter at the plate as Kay Pellegrini digs in on the right side. Kay drove in a run with a single her last time up. And takes the first pitch low for ball 1. She's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles so far this afternoon. And this ball is hit high in the air, down the left field line. Will it stay fair? It twists foul and out of play. It had home run distance, but a foul ball. And the count evens at a ball and a strike. 1-1 pitch, and that is over the plate for strike 2. So now Shirey trying to battle back and get out of this bases loaded jam. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and this is sent down the right field line, and it twists foul and out of play. Angelina Bonina at third, Amelia Maloney at second, Ava Baglione at first. Milford down by a run. And the next pitch is sent in the air, again foul off the first base side, and that drifts off the playing surface. Pellegrini putting on a tough at bat here, down a ball and 2 strikes. Trying to find something that she can drive and keep fair. Caitlin Kernan leading the cheers out of the Milford dugout. Everyone standing right up against the chain link. Shirey ready. And this pitch sent in the air out to center field. Routine play out there for Driscoll as she makes the catch for the out that ends the inning. And so both teams stranding runners in scoring position in this 4th inning. Milford does scratch across 1 in this bottom half of the 4th, so we'll head to the 5th now. A tight one here on the MHS softball field. Stoughton 4, Milford 3. Coverage coming to you from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. We'll be back with more in just a moment here on Milford TV.
Blue, I have a ball. Kelsey, I'm gonna get her bluey pull-ups. Can you please?
It's been an entertaining game so far. A 1-run ball game now into the top half of the 5th inning. Stoughton holding on to a 4-3 lead as this ball drifts into foul territory down the right field side. Milford unable to make the catch. Maloney tracked it into foul ground but couldn't squeeze it. As Kayla Monahan leads things off for Stoughton in the top half of the 5th. 1 for 2 today with a run batted in. Lauren Williams out for her first full inning of relief. And tries to dot the outside corner with that pitch. Apparently misses just away. And this one elevated, and it gets past the swing of Monahan for the strikeout. That's 3 Ks since entering the ball game for Lauren Williams. And now a ground ball hit over to shortstop. First pitch swinging for Kelsey Whitman, and she is down on the 6-3 ground out. I should say first clean inning in relief for Lauren Williams, as she did enter the game in the 4th with nobody out. Ended up retiring all 3 batters she faced, 2 of them by way of the K. Now has the first 2 batters retired in this top half of the 5th. And now the 2 pitchers currently in the ball game, Williams and Shirey, will battle. Williams was able to lead off the bottom half of the 4th inning with a double. That was against the starting pitcher, Julia Monahan. So Williams now facing off against Shirey. The count now of 1 ball and 1 strike. Neither team has had a 1-2-3 inning yet. 1-1 pitch, that is down in the dirt. And this one comes up and in. That will clip Shirey on the shoulder. That might have also clanked around and got Lacerbo and the home plate umpire as well. So a hit by pitch will deny Williams the 1-2-3 frame and will give Julia Monahan a chance to bat in the inning. And meanwhile, they'll bring out a courtesy runner to replace Shirey at first. It's Isabella Kuznets, the junior. Monahan, a swing and a miss on the first pitch. This has been a relatively competitive head-to-head matchup between these two softball teams in the last handful of years. As this ball is hit on a line out to short, Olivia plays it on a bounce, has to hustle the throw over to first base. It doesn't get there in time. Good hustle for Monahan. She beats out the infield single. And so runners at first and second base now as Stoughton tries to spark a two-out rally after Williams had retired the first two batters of the inning. And now Emerson Grover with a chance to bat. Takes the first pitch in the dirt. The wind whips as this ball is sent down the left field line. It stays in fair territory. And a nice job by Brooke Stokes to get to it quickly, and that forced the runner to hold up at third base. That ball was hit right as a big gust of wind blew, and it seemed like that was just enough to keep that ball inside fair territory. And so after the first two outs were recorded in this inning, a hit by pitch, two hits, and now a ground ball that sneaks underneath Olivia Baglione's glove, and two runs are going to come in to score for Stoughton. As Addison Greenlaw swings at the first pitch, sends it on the ground to short. Baglione couldn't get the glove down to the turf. So we'll give Greenlaw the benefit of a hit and ends up driving in two big runs as Kuznets and Monahan both score. Grover winds up at third base, and so a frustrating inning here in the end for Williams. Looked like it was the potential to be a quick inning, but the hit by pitch, and then Monahan just able to beat the throw from shortstop to reach on an infield single, and now three straight hits in the inning have put two more on the scoreboard for the Knights. An 0-2 count on the batter at the dish, I think is a pinch hitter. Indeed, number 44, Grace Weisenberger, batting in the place of Megan McGowan, and she will strike out. But the damage done, a two-out, two-run single for Addison Greenlaw. And Milford finds themselves once again down by three. 6-3, Stoughton on top of Milford. As we'll continue the coverage here in just a moment. Presenting sponsor for Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV is the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Stay with us.
That was a good cut. Your first cut, real good. Oh, I feel like it's like the 42nd inning. I took the jacket off of my arm. I was like, oh God. Yeah. The weather said it was going to be 50 degrees out. Me too. Those liars. They're liars. They lied to us last game too. Oh my God. I always forget I have to dress for the weather when I'm getting back. Right. No, that's okay. Sorry. Oh, my son's back. Nice shoot, Addie. No. getting better. And you've got so much power.
First pitch misses from the freshman Lily Shirey, as Isabella Lacerbo leads off this bottom half of the fifth inning. Milford has had opportunities as this game has gone on, none bigger than the bottom half of the fourth inning with a bases loaded opportunity for Kay Pellegrini, as the team had battled back to within a run. Pellegrini flying out, and Stoughton responding with a two-out rally in the top half of the fifth. They now lead at 6-3. 2-1 pitch now into Lacerbo, misses high. Isabella looking for her first hit this afternoon. That pitch came up and in on Lacerbo. She couldn't hold up on the swing. Full count, and this pitch is sprayed to the opposite field. It drops in for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there for Lacerbo. She's aboard with a leadoff single. You can join our friends, the Rail Trail Flatbread Company, for a Kids Easter Saturday craft brunch coming up in just a couple of weeks on Saturday, April 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's happening at both Rail Trail locations, as this ball is hit on the ground off the bat of Stokes. Back to the pitcher circle, where Shirey spins around and gets the lead runner at second base. So Lacerbo is retired. Stokes reaches on the fielder's choice. The first 50 kids in attendance at that Easter Saturday craft brunch will receive Easter arts and craft supplies. Should be a fun time. Again, Kids Easter Saturday craft brunch happening on April 19th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at both Rail Trail Flatbread locations in Hudson and here in Milford. Again, Rail Trail Flatbread Company back for a second season as our presenting sponsor for our Scarlet Hawks athletics coverage. Very fortunate to have a great partnership with Rail Trail, as Williams now floats this pitch foul down the first base line. A lot of fans hunkered down with heavy winter gear on to enjoy the softball action this afternoon. As Williams now sends a weak ground ball to third base. They'll try to get the lead runner at second. They do. As Stokes is out at second base, Lauren beats the throw to first. So back-to-back fielder's choice plays. And it's now 2 outs and a runner at first. And again, Kyla Nashawati will come out as the courtesy runner for Williams.
Hey, we got two.
Angelina Bonina with a foul ball for a first pitch strike. Angelina drove in Milford's run in the fourth inning with a single. She's 1 for 2 this afternoon. And now hits a ground ball over towards the second baseman. Price has it. She gets it to first. And it's a quiet inning for the Milford Bats. They strand a runner. And so we have played 5 full innings now from the MHS softball field. It is still a 6-3 lead for the Stoughton Black Knights. And so, as we mentioned, we've made a few tweaks to our broadcast schedule from what we had originally advertised even earlier this week, with the confusion that took place yesterday over the switch from home to away for the softball team. So we called an audible. We were originally going to be covering boys volleyball today, but we made the change so we could still get some softball action to you this week. Next week we made some modifications to our original broadcast schedule as well. So just to go through those with you, we'll get our first look at the MHS baseball team coming up on Monday next week as they host the Canton Bulldogs. So we'll have that coverage live from Pheno Field on Monday afternoon. And then we will catch up once again with the boys volleyball team in action on Wednesday next week against the King Philip Warriors. That game, again, on Wednesday, April 16th. It's an earlier time than usual for the boys volleyball team. They'll get that game started at 3:45. So those are our two games on our slate for next week. And then we'll have a break in our schedule for the school vacation week, and then we'll return in the last week of April with more action for you. And then we'll start to get our May sports coverage out to you on our social media as well. But meanwhile, we begin here in the top half of the sixth inning. Lauren Williams back out on this in the circle for the Scarlet Hawks, as she will once again face the top three hitters in the Stoughton order. Costello with a ground ball here to short. Sure-handed play this time for Olivia Baglione. Gets it to first for the out. One down now for Caitlin Driscoll. Driscoll has grounded out to second base, reached on an error and scored, and has also struck out. One ball, no strike count as we see a little bit of sun trying to poke through off the first base side. Another ground ball, meanwhile, hit to shortstop. Olivia's been busy, makes another good play. And it's 2 up and 2 down in the Stoughton sixth. Kayla Monahan now. She is 1 for 3. Drove in one of Stoughton's runs in the third inning with a single. Has scored a run as well. Struck out her last time up. That was to lead off last inning. A wave and a miss, as that pitch had a lot of late life on it. Oh, 2 pitch, and it's hit back up the middle. And that's going to sneak through into the outfield. A diving bid for Maloney, but even had she snagged it, no chance to get the out at first base. So a 2-out base hit for Monahan. And so it's Stoughton again trying to generate some 2-out offense. Had a lot of success in that area last inning. Kelsey Whitman, she's had a good day at the plate. 2 for 3, a triple, a single, a run scored. Fouls the first pitch away for strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 down. And a runner aboard at first for the Knights. Here's the pitch, it's down low, runner takes off. Lacerbo will throw down to second base, but it's very late. And so Stoughton gets a runner into scoring position. Swing and a miss will even the count at 2-2. Runner aggressively takes off for third on the return throw to the circle. And so we have seen that already in the game this afternoon. Stoughton has been very aggressive on the bases. Milford at times has had a lack of concentration. And now the 2-2 pitch misses upstairs. So it's now a full count to Whitman. Lily Shirey waiting on deck. Here's the payoff pitch. It's not close. Misses high for ball 4. These are the kind of growing pains with a young pitching staff. Williams trying to find a way to get this third out. Shirey takes the first pitch outside. Runner takes off for second base. Lazurbo with that fake throw down to third. Very aware of keeping that runner in place. So an uncontested steal of second base for Whitman. Puts 2 in scoring position. So all of a sudden this 6th inning taking on a very similar complexion to what happened in the 5th. 2 quick outs. Runners in scoring position. Can Williams get out of it this time? 1-1 pitch. It's hit softly to the circle, but kicks off of Williams' glove, and a run comes in to score. So an error on Williams allows Shirey to reach. Monahan comes in from third. Coach DeVito with a very quick exchange of words with Williams. Trying to keep the freshman focused. It's now a 7-3 lead for the Knights. The inning continues for Julia Monahan. First pitch up and away. Both of these teams playing for the 2nd straight day. Has not seemed to be much of a detriment to Stoughton, as their offense continues to be relentless in these early days of the season, once again ensuring that they will have 7 or more runs in all of their first 5 games of the season. Team coming in with a lot of confidence, and you've seen that confidence show through all game long, hitting in key situations. Right now, Monahan down 1 ball and 2 strikes. She fights a pitch off foul. That'll take a hop off of the Foxborough bus, waiting to collect the Foxborough Varsity boys lacrosse team, currently in action against Milford on the turf field behind us. Another 1-2 pitch now from Williams. That is low. Monahan has grounded out, flied out, and reached on an infield single. Started this game in the circle, now playing first base for the Knights. As the count fills up. Runners at the corners for Stoughton. The payoff pitch from Williams is on the inside corner for strike 3. So that ends the inning. A run does come home on the error in the circle. And so it is now a 7-3 lead for Stoughton on top of Milford. We'll head to the home half of the 6th inning when we return next live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth. Coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV is presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company.
Watch your head. See how low that ball.
That was a little low, yeah.
Gotta swing at those, Julia, though. Full count, close game.
Or stick your knee into it. Yeah.
Milford into the bottom half of the 6th inning. Amelia Maloney getting things started at the plate. Batters 8, 9, and 1 due up
Because you're cheating in,
against
have an extra second.
the freshman Lily Shirey. Two balls and 1 strike now on Maloney, who has been on base twice out of the number 8 spot. Reached on a bunt single in the 2nd inning and reached on a walk in the 4th. Now offers at that pitch, does not make contact. And now a foul tip, and that is into the mitt of the catcher Greenlaw for strike 3.
You're still in.
It's the 2nd strikeout for Shirey since entering the game.
Hey, good miss. Good miss.
Shirey into her 3rd inning of relief. Now a slow rolling ground ball hit to second base off the bat of Kernan. Could not beat the throw to first base. It's a 4-3 ground out, and 2 up and 2 down, and all of a sudden now Shirey has retired the last 5 consecutive batters. 2 quick outs here in the 6th, and now it will take something from Olivia Baglione if we're to continue in the inning. Now a hard hit ball foul just past the first base dugout and hopefully just past our camera operator as well.
Lily, hold on.
It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count now on Olivia Baglione. She struck out her last time up to go along with a walk and a base hit today. Now a pop-up, playable on the infield for the second baseman Price. She makes the catch, and we see our first 1-2-3 inning for either team today. As Shirey cruises through the bottom of the 6th inning, we will move on to the 7th. It is still a 7-3 lead for Stoughton. On this coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Seven, 8, and 9 hitters due up in the order for the Stoughton Black Knights, starting with Emerson Grover, who has played a big role in this game today. A perfect 3 for 3 at the plate. A double to go along with a pair of singles. She's driven in a run. She'll be followed by Addison Greenlaw and designated player spot, which was last occupied by Grace Weisenberger. 1-2 the count on Grover. Pitch from Williams, popped up over the backstop. Milford will be on the road for their next two. After they wrap up here today, they'll be in Canton on Monday and at King Philip on Wednesday of next week. As that pitch drops in for a called strike three, so the first time today, Milford's been able to retire Emerson Grover. So that's the 6th strikeout for Lauren Williams since coming into the game. And now Greenlaw with a pop-up on the infield. And Olivia Baglione cannot make the catch. The 3rd error of the game for Milford. Has not been the easiest defensive day for Olivia Baglione. She's made some good plays, but has had some tough ones as well. And so now allowing a 1-out base runner as Grace Weisenberger takes the pitch for ball 1 up and away. Now a line drive hit out to right field towards the line, and the catch is made there by Caitlin Kernan. Good closing speed as she hustled toward the right field line to be able to make that catch. So 2 outs now in this top half of the 7th. And Reagan Costello will send a comebacker up the middle. That is through for a base hit. And so the Stoughton leadoff hitter finally comes through with her first hit today after she had been 0 for 4. Jumps on that first pitch and sends it right back up the middle for a single. And so that puts runners at first and second base now. And a soft ground ball off the bat of Caitlin Driscoll, fielded by Maloney. She gets the throw to first base for the out that retires the side. So again, Stoughton was able to get a couple of 2-out base runners aboard, but this time they do not score. So Milford will head into the bottom of the 7th inning, trailing by 4. They'll have batters 2, 3, and 4 coming to the plate. We'll bring you the coverage back in just a moment here on Milford TV.
And it doesn't have a seat back. But the good news is, like, when you went down to get it, you didn't lunge like you were doing.
I think it's because I'm up. No.
Yeah. You're not, like, worried down here.
Did Reagan hit, like, a
Single.
Yeah, but it was like a pop fly to center, kind of.
It was a ground ball.
Okay, I actually did pop fly because I, like,
Oh my god,
missed it
you're the
because
worst
I
kid
had to
ever.
switch the batter.
The worst
We
kid
both
ever.
fell. No, because it was on
As long
LP,
as she
and then
gets-
I was like,
All that matters is she got a single.
I told
Don't
her
worry.
every single time and then I panicked and I didn't know what to do.
I think I
The good
don't
news
pop
is,
fly.
if you
I think that was
really
my
mess
fault.
up,
She's like, what happened?
If you really mess up, I can go in later and override things. You just have to tell me when you messed up. No, you're pretty perfect from what I know. It's 2, 3, 4, okay, honey? You got the 3 best hitters up there.
Coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics here on Milford TV is brought to you in part by Rentschler Biopharma, our broadcast booth sponsor. At their Milford site, they offer full-service solutions along the entire biopharmaceutical value chain for large-scale clinical and commercial CGMP manufacturing. Rentschler Biopharma, again, the sponsor of our broadcast booth. Coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics is also brought to you in part by Unibank, big bank know-how, community bank attitude. Check them out at their Milford branch on Prospect Street, right inside the Shaw's Plaza. And of course, our presenting sponsor for Scarlet Hawks athletics is the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. Bottom half of the 7th inning as That ball drops in. No, it does not. Obscured from our view for a moment by the home plate umpire. That ball was squeezed out in left field by Reagan Costello. Went off of the cheer from the crowd, but it is indeed held on to for out number 1. So Ava is retired quickly as now Kay Pellegrini sends a fly ball out to right field. Catch is made out there, and 2 pitches. And there are 2 outs in this inning, so very quickly Milford is down to their last out. Lily Shirey has gotten better and better as this relief appearance has gone on. She's retired 8 batters in a row and now induces a ground ball. First pitch swinging by Isabella Lacerbo. They get the throw over to first base. And so a dominating finish to this game in the circle for Lily Shirey as again she sets down the final 9 batters that she faces. And so a tough way for this one to end for Milford today as they will find themselves on the losing end of this one. Final score 7-3. Credit to Stoughton, they were able to continue to tack on to the lead as this game went along. Had some clutch 2-out offense generated in this game as well. And so a disappointing loss here for Milford. It will be their 2nd straight loss as they will fall now to 1-3 overall on the season. Stoughton will continue to be perfect here out of the gates as they improve to 5-0. They continue to look very good as they stay atop the Davenport division standings. So our next coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV will come your way on Monday as we will head out to Pheno Field for the first time this season to catch the baseball team in action against another Davenport opponent in the Canton Bulldogs. That game should get underway. I believe that is a 6 p.m. start for that baseball action coming up on Monday. So you can catch that live on our YouTube channel. You can also catch it live on our educational channel or our Verizon High Definition channel as well. We'll also have some volleyball action for you later on next week as well. So make sure you stay tuned to all of our sports coverage as we continue on in the spring sports season. But that's going to wrap things up here for this afternoon from the softball field. And a big thank you to our Milford TV crew dealing with some chilly temperatures once again as we continue through this early spring season. Our director for the game today is our Sutton High School intern Hunter Miller, doing an outstanding job with the coverage today. And Patrick Arapi manning our action camera down the first base line. And I am Tim Coet. That final score, one final time, Stoughton defeats Milford by a final score of 7-3. As we bring you this coverage live from our Rentschler Biopharma broadcast booth, this has been a presentation of Scarlet Hawks Athletics here on Milford TV, presented by the Rail Trail Flatbread Company. So long, everybody.